Oh yeah.
I'm not watching it either. Nope. What'd you say? Oh, yeah, on Friday. Oh, you talking this one? Or this? That's my new cold joint. Thank you. Come on.
You can be on camera right there.
The first month.
How are you?
That first semester.
Oh, awesome.
They really, they meet their friend and like going out, the same who they're hanging out with.
Oh, yeah. You've been in the way of the birthday.
Here. Dr. Petula, Mr. Kozowitz, Dr. Schumacher,
Here.
Mr. Sefner,
Here.
Ms. Shields, and Dr. Burks.
We have some co-curricular hires, so need a motion, please.
Motion to approve co-curricular hires as presented.
Second.
Moved in second, additional discussion. Roll call, please.
Ms. Shields?
Yes.
Dr. Schumacher?
Yes.
Dr. Brenner?
Yes.
Mr. Sefner?
Yes.
And Dr. Burks?
Yes. Then we have some resignations.
Motion to approve the resignations as presented.
Second.
Moved in second, additional discussion. All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion passes. And then we have some hires, more hires.
Motion to approve the hires as presented. Second.
Moved in second, additional discussion. Roll call, please.
Mr. Sefner?
Yes.
Dr. Brenner?
Yes.
Dr. Schumacher?
Yes.
Ms. Shields?
Yes.
And Dr. Burks?
Yes. Then we have some 6-day enrollment.
Yeah, so there's two documents in there. One of them gives a breakdown by building. If you look at that, Bristol grade is the only building that went down, 12 students. All our other buildings are up. You'll see Yorkville grade is up 41 kids, and that is because we have added early childhood sections at Bristol grade, or excuse me, Yorkville grade. Our high school is up 125 kids, surpassed 2,000 to 2065. Grand Reserve up 50 kids, so a lot of growth. Overall, we're 361 additional students. Our kindergarten is up 58, which is a big jump for our kindergarten. Our fourth grade is up 56. Seventh grade is at up 46, and our middle school is at 1050. Getting big. And our high school, you know, we're almost all at 500 or more. So I think the days of under 2,000 are probably over. You know, as we've been talking to our architects and thinking about the future for the planning, at some point, we're gonna have to have a discussion as a community, whether we're a one high school or two high school district, or a one middle school or two middle school district. You know, if there's ever a desire down the road to move sixth grade to our middle school, And then you're looking at 1,500, 1,600 kids.
That's,
Some-
that's gonna be the bigger pressure point.
Right, some districts, I mean, Batavia has that, and there's some districts who have that, but isn't what we want, New York. You know, as the board is well aware, and our committee is well aware, as we get bigger, there's less opportunities
Yeah.
at those schools for those kids at such an early age. So that will be a discussion that we'll be bringing to our committee, the board, as we work through our resolution 115 with our architects. We want to add out the kindergarten, you know, there's just a lot of pieces to that our communities are gonna have to answer. What do we want for the future of our district, and for our community, for our kids? You know, 750 kids in the middle school sounds nice. It sounds like opportunities that more kids can be involved in, whether it's theater or music or athletics or club.
And the expansion of the high school, like bringing in the fine arts area, field house, you can start to move kids around in a larger space. And very possibly some people.
100%. Yep.
Can we get the academy?
Correct.
And those are the discussions we're having with some of our high school team right now, our music department, our athletic department, and Stephanie's been involved. I think we have a meeting Wednesday with DR again to come back and look at some of the high school ideas. Look at a community center, field house, but then looking at how do we utilize our space to move kids around where maybe we don't have to add another high school for, you know, a decade.
Right.
But we can use it as a campus that kids flow in and out.
Yeah.
On both sides of the street.
Woodstock High School, about 15 years ago. It probably would be better off after school, high school, so their enrollment.
Yeah, that's right, that's the same thing. Built all those measurements.
I guess I was going with Woodstock, but it was more towards our.
What you do, even when you look at the elementary numbers, you know, when we have the YS is at, almost 700 kids, for Autumn Creek's at, 700 kids. That's becoming a big elementary school. So we have to be thinking about that too. What does that look like? But yeah, if you move sixth grade out, and you have kindergarten, I mean, there's just a lot of variables, moving parts right now. It's an exciting time. And it's great that we have 360 families that the kids that want to move in and be part of our system. So that's kudos to our staff and the board and our community. It presents challenges too.
Good problem.
Yeah. it is.
All right. And we have governor executive order updates.
Yeah, on August 26th, as you know, Governor Pritzker issued Executive Order 87, which required all preschool through grade 12 school personnel to be vaccinated. For those that are not vaccinated or in the process of, they must submit to a weekly testing option as a requirement for them. That Executive Order number 87 originally had a 10-day timeline. He then issued Executive Order 88, which then moved that timeline back to begin a start date of September 19th, which then would go into effect for us as school district on September 20th, which is a Monday. So we are in the process of, and have been in the process since the first executive order came out, of collecting vaccination information from those that are vaccinated, identifying those that are unvaccinated, and are developing a process to collect and maintain the records of testing for our staff that isn't unvaccinated.
So on next day, we finally end up where you're going to test in house.
Yes, so after sending out our surveys to our staff, we have approximately 20% of our staff that is that's unvaccinated, which turns out to be about 175 individuals for various reasons. We also know that we have about 50% of our bus drivers that are unvaccinated as well. And so that, including the unvaccinated substitutes and personnel that's in our buildings on a regular basis, we're talking about approximately 250 individuals. So next Monday, from 4:30 to 8:30 at Autumn Creek, we will be hosting our event to test those. We get free Binax Now tests from our Kendall County Health Department. And we have designed a process in order to cycle those individuals through. That way we can ensure that we can still open our doors for our community.
So that'll be every Monday for the next 7 or 8, these first semester, we have.
We scheduled out through Christmas at this point in time.
4 to 8:30,
Mhm.
employed about 10 or 12 staff members, nurses, support personnel to come in and do that for us, so they get paid extra, obviously. When there is a positive result, that individual will be contacted directly from one of our nurses via phone to let them know, and then obviously we'll figure that out and how to, you know.
So the Binax is a 15-minute test, right?
Sure.
So they're gonna know that way.
Yeah, we're not gonna keep them there though, they're
You're
gonna,
not.
no,
The tests are free, but the district is paying for the resource.
For the staff.
it's gonna wind up,
Because I know a lot of businesses are charging.
Yeah.
If you can choose not to be vaccinated, but you're getting charged.
Right. It will end up costing us approximately slightly less than $1,000 an evening to staff.
at this time, I made, you know, the cabinet we talked about charging today, I did at this point make the recommendation not to. Obviously, the board has your free will to tell me to put something in place to charge, but we want to see how it goes, we want to see make it convenient for our employees. So
Well,
obviously,
it's probably winter and stuff. So, but for now, most professional associations are arranging, so it can be paid for through insurances and things, so. We're just trying to move it as it's stated until it's more clarification.
we will be looking, since we are offering a service for, you know, probably 40 or 50 sub-train drivers, as well as maybe a handful of Aramark employees. We will be looking to negotiate with sub-train, you know, to offset some of those costs, since we are doing a service. It's gonna benefit our kids, obviously, but we'll be having that conversation with.
Melinda and I, Ms. Lasky and I have looked into some third-party vendors to see that expense is astronomical. About 3 to 4 times the cost of us being able to do it in-house using the Kendall County Health Department provided Binax Now tests. We also are looking into the University of Illinois has a program called Project Shield, where they host on-site testing events that uses a saliva test.
That's what a lot of businesses are using now. For some, well, one, it's an inscription involved with that, and secondly, it seems to be the most available. For the Binax test, I mean, right now you're getting it, but worldwide is a huge shortage. So,
Yeah, that's actually why we're looking at other options, because we know that the Binax Now is going to eventually run out, and it may, whatever we choose may not be free of charge. So looking at different options as to when that happens, what tests we can use.
Well, the problem you have is it's self-insured, right? So you use charge yourself. You know, through insurance, there's really no big advantage. You know, for other companies, it's a different story if they're indemnity type policies. So because then the insurance, it's $100 upfront, you know, per person. So yeah, it gets pretty pricey as you gotta start doing it. So I don't know what the options will be, but again, I think we'll get a clarification as to this.
We probably have 75, 80 people who not respond to us, so we are tracking those individuals down.
What's the choices there?
No. But then last, it's not on the agenda, but just an update, we are having bus driver shortages. So we had a difficult morning today. We had 6 or 7 of our sub-train drivers who called in sick. So we had routes that were significantly delayed. When I say significant, like a couple hours delayed. We since also clarified and brought more effectiveness to our communication to our families. They'll be starting tomorrow morning, Craig's been involved with Subtran, making sure that they get ample notice, so that if they want to drive their own child to school, they're able to do that. There are, a handful of drivers in the pipeline that are being trained. So we expect that's going to help over the next few weeks. We did send a communication out shortly for the board meeting, all district families, just let them know the situation. Give them the heads up, but if you hear things and see it on social media, it's not good. It's not good anywhere. It's not-
Yeah.
not just
We're
here.
just trying to
That's the
stick
thing.
around us,
It's,
you
it's
know.
every.
It's not just us, it's not that we
No.
make failures.
Yeah, Subtran, they have signing bonuses, they have referral bonuses, those, they're doing what they can.
Same problem.
Every business.
But I
I
will
mean,
say
actually-
too, that, I'm nervous and, next week, it doesn't get better. Right, it gets worse. We know that they have people who are gonna choose to not drive anymore. And we're not gonna have, when they're talking about the people in the pipeline, it's maybe 4 or 5 drivers, but depending on those who may choose to walk away. That's a concern, given that we may be having issues. They've done a couple things where they've brought in drivers that were only driving 1 tier, and then actually they come and drive 2 tiers, so we're not sure exactly how long that'll last, but we're working with them on a daily basis to figure out, different things that we can do, but there's no great options. We're getting 1 or 2 drivers that might already have their CDL from other locations, which will be helpful because those will get up to speed more quickly than the 6 to 8 weeks. And today, some of the issues that Lisa was talking about is even just getting physicals back. And some of the pieces of the process that should be quick, that unfortunately we don't control, it's outside agencies that those things, getting background checks back, getting some of those things are not helping, so they can't start doing the behind the wheel testing or, driving and those things, so. It's a system-wide issue.
I realize you're anxious about it, but there's nothing more you can do. It's a universal help. In every single area. I don't care from physicians to bus drivers. There's a shortage.
Are we gonna set up communication that we're anticipating this problem? Are we gonna set up communication that we're anticipating this problem is probably going to be?
Well,
Or is that not?
part of the communication tonight alluded to the fact that there is a shortage, that there are
Yes.
drivers in the pipeline, but we'll keep our communities updated.
Do we anticipate other shortages in other areas within our district? I mean,
Substitutes,
substitutes, other food workers.
They're calling this era the great resignation. It's as Bob said, the hospital numbers are 25%, 25%.
There's a huge shortage. It's everywhere, and it'll probably be in place because there was excess funds that were distributed for a long time. People are going to use it up, not realizing they're going to run out of money. And then suddenly they're going to want a job, and it's going to be retraining. It's a sad situation, and there's just nothing we can do about it. And unfortunately, it's just like you're on a restaurant, and somebody in the elevator service, and it took too long, you're going to get the same thing. There's just not enough people.
There's help on its hands everywhere.
And maybe we should be encouraging those parents who could drive their kids to school to maybe do that and let us know that they are going. I mean, there's a contingent out there to do it, and maybe it wouldn't be a hardship for them. And this, for whatever reason, they thought, but at least to see, are there some numbers that are considerably good of the routes? I don't know if I'm not.
The contract is with Subtran, so Subtran is the correct, like Subtran is one that has to meet its contract obligations.
Correct. Our problem is if they're not meeting the obligation, I don't.
Right, I mean,
I don't have
right,
a
but
plan B or
it's-
no other companies that are meeting.
Yeah.
Or no other companies that are meeting their obligations, so it's not like I can turn around and go, oh, who was second bidder last time, and then we go contract with that, and I don't have a great alternative.
We even brainstormed this morning, we have 3 minibuses. We have some, special ed routes that have been delayed. Can we get in our minibuses? But, there's also legality to that is, you have to pick them up in the driveway. It's just, there's a lot of things that go, you have to have certain bus arms and stop sign, stop arms that our minibuses don't necessarily have. So we're thinking of trying to think of everything. And I know Luke at the high school and Chad at the middle school is also trying to, we're short buses for that.
Yeah.
And drivers, so times we're using coach buses now to do, to transport kids. Just because we don't have any alternatives, right?
Right.
But we'll get through it and, we did have a wonderful meeting with our association. Ryan, the chief negotiator for the YEA, put together a great agenda, and we met right here last week or 10 days ago, and so we're meeting again on the 29th, if I remember, and we're gonna do a financial kind of state of the state between us and the association members, but we spelled out kind of our framework and our approach we want to take, and much like years past, very collaborative, very transparent. There'll be times where we're going to ask the association leadership to come in our executive session and do a joint update, looking to do joint press releases as things get moving and communications. Just a real commitment to work through it together, very collaborative, very open and honest, and making sure that we get to the same spot as we have in years past in a timely manner, and so just so the board is aware, we started those conversations, and we'll be bringing more to you, obviously, in the next coming weeks and months. Really excited about that. And also just, all the things that are going on with transportation and COVID, and it shouldn't take away the good that's going on. Our staff, I'm really proud of them. In our district, nothing has changed other than we've added all the kids back to school. All the green checks, all the relocations, all the, the mitigation strategies. We've been doing those all last year. Now we've added our entire student population back, and we're still doing all of them. So I think the board should know, you should be really proud of our staff. They're really working hard for our kids and trying to bring a sense of normalcy and get back to, our committees and doing the curriculum work and the stuff that it's most important. So our administrators, our district office people, Melinda and Heather and Craig, and all that groups that are trying to keep the health things going right, the technology and getting stuff ordered that we can't seem to find. Everything's costing more, but we're working hard and we're having fun doing it. It's going to be a great year. It's going to be a hard year again, but it's okay.
But I tell you what, and I realize there's always some people that are happy about certain things, but in general, the majority of parents that I talk a lot about they're very pleased with it.
The kids are back.
They're so happy they're back. Their kids are happier. It's just all the way around, from all angles, social, emotional, the more consistent academic behavior, everything is still by far an absolute competitive. So, like you said, you do the best you can with what you can. You're going to have the problems, but everybody is. So, you just have to work around this.
One additional thing, just to let you know too, we've modified as we try to update and change things. We've modified food service. We have been eating all in the cafeteria, but that only allows 3 feet of social distancing. So we've worked really hard, Melinda, Craig, the buildings, Aramark, to move essentially half of the kids back to eating in the classroom, and then half of the kids eating in the cafeteria. So we hope that will minimize, because with masks off, that'll minimize the amount of people that have to quarantine, at least in that part of the day. So just in case you're hearing that really kind of started today. So we know it's going to take a little bit to get used to, and we're trying to figure out the best distribution way to distribute that, and how do we how we serve kids who are going back to the classroom, but we are always looking at ways that we can get better and be better and do that stuff.
Thank you, everybody.
Okay, thank you. I need a motion to adjourn. Which is second, all those in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
Next meeting, 27th of high school. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.
Stay well.
Thank you.